Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here, and here's another WrestleMania themed show. Every Rock WrestleMania match ranked from worst to best. No, not every match that features a Rock artist or somebody that got into Rock, like Jericho or something like that. No, I'm referring to every WrestleMania match that has featured The Rock, the great one, Rock the Dwayne Johnson, which is pretty much what he should be called at this point because he basically is The Rock. He is no longer Dwayne, he is only a big boulder. I digress. He has had 11 matches at WrestleMania. Even though I hate counting one of those because one of those really shouldn't count. From Mania 13 to Mania 20, he had, consecutive matches. And then after that, it was 28, 29, and then it was 32. And okay, don't worry, we'll get to that. But yeah, why not rank all these? So hopefully Rock isn't going to have any more matches in his career. Because let's be honest, after 28, he really shouldn't have had any more. But let's just get on with it. And here we go with number 11, Rock versus Rowan at Mania 32. This was basically a way to get Rock a record, like get him the record that like King Kong Bundy had over Special Delivery Jones, like, the 8 or 9 second, squash, even though it was more like 20 seconds. They just wrote that. They just, wrote it into the record books because who the hell's going to count that? Wrestling nerds like me and others. That's who. But with this, Rock's, the people who took out insurance on The Rock, for his movie roles and stuff like that, studios and all that, did not want The Rock to be in anything high impact because after what happened in Mania 29 when he tore, I believe, his pec muscle or tore something, he tore some muscle and he probably tore a lot of other shit and it delayed the shooting of Hercules. And that cost the studio a whole lot. And then Hercules came out. It was better than the one that came out earlier in 2014. But moving on, the whole thing is Rock and Rowan, like the Rock and Rowan connection. I would actually like to see that tag team. I am just joking around here a whole bunch because this match was a goddamn joke. Rock and Cena are out there. Well, Rock's out there. All that, running down the Wyatt family. Faces off, tears off his pants, after setting his own name on fire, the Rock that is, and beats Rowan with a rock bottom right after the bell rings, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it counts as a match. And after all that joking counts as a match. So now we move on to number 10. Rocky Maivia versus the Sultan at Mania 13. One of the worst Intercontinental title matches that ever took place at a WrestleMania. Oh, if only I did a list like that. Yes, shameless self-promotion, but it's my channel, so why not? This just wasn't very good. No amount of, heat that Bob Backlund and Iron Sheik were attempting to get could work. Rocky Johnson coming down to help out his son was not going to work. Yeah, the Chicago crowd did not like Rocky Maivia very much. They admired the talent, they just didn't like the character. And Rocky Maivia won. It was a limp match. And let's move on to number 9, Rock versus Shamrock. Yes, a whole lot of Rock going on here. A whole lot of Rock the Dwayne Johnson going on here. This was more notable for the fact that Shamrock finally, snapped, got into his zone and just snapped and did, and took out a whole bunch of officials, did all this stuff. Because this was the second big pay-per-view they had done some kind of, quick finish and everything, where Shamrock should have won the title, but they didn't, and all that happened. So, yeah, it wasn't bad. They would have a better match at King of the Ring later in the year, where Shamrock could actually become King of the Ring. Yeah, Ken Shamrock was King of the Ring. I love Ken Shamrock, but often that tends to get forgotten about, which is a damn shame. Shamrock should have also been WWE Champion at one point. But yeah, now with these matches out of the way, we're going to get to something good right after this next match. Rock and Stock Connection reuniting to take on Evolution minus Triple H. So Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 20. Yeah, wasn't very good. Really wasn't. And I'm just trying to just doing this, trying to come up with something nice to say. Look, Rock didn't look bad. Him and Flair facing off and him impersonating Flair, doing, the strut and everything to people's elbow was pretty damn cool. But in all honesty, this was a pretty shit match. And I really didn't enjoy it very much. I really didn't think it was very good. But it was what it was. And hey, why the hell not? Why the hell not do it? I mean, Foley had lost quite a bit of weight. He actually looked pretty damn good here. But yeah, it wasn't very good. It really wasn't. I really didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. Foley doing the honors for Orton here and at the following pay-per-view was fine, but this was probably like the most basic that Rock's performance had seemed in the amount of WrestleManias that he had been to. So yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. So then here we go to, something that just wasn't as good as first time around. Rock versus Cena 2, Electric Boogaloo at Mania 29. Did not need to be for the WWE title unless you were going to have Punk in there to make it, something different, whatever. It wasn't very good. It wasn't bad. This was, of course, the match I just referenced a few minutes ago where Rock tore I believe, his pec muscle, or he tore something. And abdominal muscle actually is what it might have been. I know he tore something pretty severe and powered through it, and credit to Cena for carrying him through the match. But it just wasn't it just was not very good. It wasn't a bad match. It just was very mundane. It did not do nearly the buy rate the Mania 28 the year prior had done. It was not bad, but it was not great. And Cena getting his win back was not needed because Cena was always going to get his win back over a bunch of people. You could have let Rock be the one guy, one of the few guys. No, they could not do that. And I will also have a countdown up of Cena's matches at some point. Do not worry. But yeah, this, not very good. Number 6, Rock versus Triple H versus Big Show versus Mick Foley at Mania 16, a.k.a. Mania 2000. Yeah, had it just been Rock versus Triple H, this might have been top 3. Big Show maybe even being involved, I can understand. But Foley, having retired just a bit before and then coming back. McMahon every corner. Too convoluted, too muddled. Triple H closed the show as the first heel champion to actually close, as champion, which would have been great if he had been the second one Yokozuna had done at Mania 9, but I digress. I'll get to that on another countdown. Because I've talked about that match before. I've talked about this one before. But Triple H, once it got down to Rock and Triple H, it was pretty damn fun. But it was a bit of a slog to get to that. It wasn't bad once it got to Rock versus Triple H. Unfortunately, you had to go through quite a bit where, once you got rid of Foley, okay, but I don't know. It was just too much. It was too ridiculous. And it was too Attitude Era-like. Obviously it wasn't the Attitude Era, but this is when WCW was just getting wiped on the floor, just getting their face rubbed and everything. In part because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But yeah, this match, Triple H winning, cool, but not the best performance from The Rock. However, we do get a little better with Rock versus Austin for the number 5 spot at Mania 15. The least of their 3 Mania matches was still a goddamn fantastic one. Very, very, good drama and everything. Yeah, it was overbooked to shit and stuff like that, and you had interference and you had all that stuff. But it was still a well-wrestled match and a good fight, mixed into one. And the question was, could Austin, close the show as champion for the second, straight Mania? And he did. And even despite all that, it was pretty well wrestled. It was good stuff, and Rock doing the honors and would be turned full-fledged babyface right after Backlash the following month. They had a better match at Backlash 99, but still, this was a great match, and that's why I'm ranking it, number 5. Number 4, Rock versus Austin at Mania 17. I've covered this one at length. It's a great match, and Austin's heel turn was divisive. I still am on the fence about it. I liked what they did. I didn't necessarily think it was all that great, but it was just well-told. It was a well-told story. Good drama. All the stuff that they had going on with it was actually pretty well, focused on everything. Yeah. Rock having that, just look of like betrayal against Vince McMahon. Like, wait a second, why are you here? Why are you helping Austin? Or not even why are you helping Austin? Why are you here? Like, what the hell? What purpose do you serve? But then, Austin's heel turn. That cemented it. Rock being valiant, not willing to stay down. But eventually stayed down after a bunch of chair shots and stunners and that kind of stuff. But then we get to Rock versus Cena at Mania 28. And I fucking love this match. One, I love this match. And by the way, apologies, if my voice sounds a little bit rough. I'm still getting over a 24 to 48 hour flu. But I feel good enough to do these videos. Anyway, Rock vs. Cena Mania 28. Lightning in a goddamn ball. The once-in-a-lifetime thing. The way they told the story on social media. All that stuff and everything. Rock did get frazzled by Cena a few times. And it's kind of funny how Cena railed against, Rock going to Hollywood. And then Cena did the same goddamn thing. And I'm not going to fault him. He's allowed to do what he wants to do. But it's still kind of funny that he railed against Rock and then he went and did the same thing. But that being said, this was a great match. Great stuff at, in Miami. Rock had a huge ovation. Big fight feel and all that and everything. I give Cena credit. He carried Rock through it. Rock did well. Rock was gassed quickly because he had not been in the ring competitively except for one match, like a few months prior. It was great. It was great stuff. And Rock gained the victory. Oh my God, Cena getting overconfident. That was the icing on the cake. Great stuff. And then Rock versus Hogan at Mania 18 is our number 2, well, my number 2 match. And what was great about this, is just how great, how massively over Hogan was. And while they still respected The Rock, Toronto just was on fire for Hogan and everything. And just for, everything Hogan did, from all the stuff, even though Hogan tried to heel it up, there was no point, because they were going to cheer Hogan, and they did. And basically Rock called an audible and just decided to work heel, and it was a smart move. The crowd made the match. The match itself, not that good, not that great, but atmosphere made it so fantastic. This was great stuff, and I really, really did. I really did appreciate it. Appreciated the effort from both guys. Rock gained the victory. Hogan doing the honors. Something he should have done for Shawn at SummerSlam 05 and Orton at SummerSlam 06. But whatever. It was still great, and probably Hogan's finest WrestleMania match in a number of years. And to finish up, we go to Rock versus Austin at Mania 19. Why is this ranked number 1? Because Rock finally got his victory over Austin on the show of shows, on the grandest stage. Because it was Austin's last match, period. And it should have been. Austin was pretty much beat up, pretty much destroyed and everything. And realistically, Rock gained the victory here is the right call. Then Rock stayed around for another month, put over another bald guy in the name of Goldberg. But this was great stuff, and just the fact that Rock was able to counter finally everything Austin could do. And after 3 rock bottoms, putting on Austin's vest and mocking him and everything, hitting the stunner. I mean, it wasn't a complete squash or whatever. And this was actually supposed to be the main event, but they were unsure of Austin's condition. Quite frankly, I think it's good that this wasn't the main event, because they really didn't need to main event this one. It should have been Brock and Angle main eventing. But it was great stuff, and Rock finally gained the victory. Thanking Austin, privately and everything, even though you could tell he was thanking him. And he let Austin have his moment, but Rock got to have his moment, finally being Austin on the show of shows and the grandest stage. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave that up, because that's the end of the list, because Rock's only had 11 Mania matches. And hopefully that's it, because really, I don't want to see a nearly 50-year-old Rock wrestling again. Anyway, that's what I got to see. Thank you guys for putting up with my voice and putting up with, these ranking lists. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.